I'm here to talk about the art of building a successful roster. Probably about a month ago, I realized that I didn't have very many people on my roster, if at all. I will tell you, as soon as I started dating multiple people this month alone, the people that I've been on dates with and talking to, I'm not fully invested in them.
Exactly the words of a damaged female, right? This chick is clearly for the streets. Right? She doesn't belong in a relationship. She belongs in the streets. I mean, this is just straight up streetwalker talk, what she's talking about here. The fact that she's admitting that she's not fully invested in any of the guys she's dating, and sadly, probably some of these guys are, right? Because as dudes, we don't have as many options as a woman with half of our attractiveness, right? I mean, you could be a 10 in looks, and you will... If you walk into a venue with a woman who's a 5 in looks, she will just completely destroy you with the amount of options she can walk out of that venue with versus you, who's a 10. So the fact that when I see these females take advantage of the fact that of their power already, it's really despicable, right?
Because it's the very beginning and we have not made it that far, first of all. But also, I'm not texting them all the time. I'm not worried about what they're doing because I have other people that are entertaining me too.
I have other people that are entertaining me too, right? So she wants to keep her options open. This is like hiring an employee at your company who every time they're not at work or they're taking a lunch break, they're out there applying for other companies just so they have all these backups, and even that is more understandable than in dating. It's like, why on earth are you even looking for a relationship to begin with, right? Just you're a 304. Just be a 304 and don't try to get in any relationships with any of these dudes who are looking for something more serious.
I genuinely believe that if you want to take the dating thing seriously and actually find someone, you should have 3 people on your roster.
If you want to take the dating thing seriously and find someone, she's saying you should have 3 dudes that you're seeing. Listen to what she's saying. I don't even think she's listening to what she's saying, right? How on earth do you expect to land this dream guy who is supposedly going to marry you off and invest everything in you when you're seeing other dudes?
Someone decides to have that conversation with you about being exclusive, and once you guys are on the same page, the other people need to be dropped. As a woman, I need you to fully understand the importance of dating multiple people.
Okay, I just have to stop right here. Something's bothering me. This really just is really disgusting to me. These lips, right? These chicks, I'm seeing this more and more, right? I used to only see this in LA where I live. And I used to relish the fact of going back to visit my parents in San Francisco because I didn't see many women with plastic surgery, right? In LA, it's everywhere. Orange County, it's everywhere. It's a huge turnoff, by the way. This is a statistic. Most men, they've done large sample sizes of men, almost overwhelmingly most men, and most women for that matter, look negatively upon women who've done work to themselves, right? Even women who've done work to themselves look negatively at other women who've done work, right? It communicates that the person is just, they're not secure with themselves. But regardless, you can see her lips here. Her lips are like 3 times the size of what her lips should be. And when you girls do your lips like that, you just look ridiculous, right? You look beyond ridiculous. You actually end up looking like you're a special needs person, right? In other words, a retard, right? You do. You end up looking like you're a special needs person. In a lot of your photos, you look at her lips here. These are gigantic. They don't even fit her face. It just looks ridiculous. It's so distracting, and it just goes in line with her advocating for women to have a roster of dudes.
If you are only talking to one person, you are pouring way too much of your energy and attention, affection into this person.
And this is why you never take advice from other women, especially if you are a woman. You do not listen to other women. They will sabotage you. Listen to this like immature, confused, freaking 304 go. I mean, what she's saying here is not going to lead you into a healthy relationship. It's going to lead you into a lifetime of damaged relationships with bad boys, Chads, Pookies, Tyrones who just use you for sex. And she admits she's seeing lots of different guys. So she is being used for sex. You know, she thinks she's the one who's winning here. No, she's losing, right? Can't get enough of those lips.
And I get that it's hard to find multiple people that you enjoy talking
Those lips just look ridiculous.
to, but if you're only dating that one person and he's dating multiple and you're pouring all of your energy and they feel like they're the only option that you have, it scares a lot of people off. Energetically, we feel that it puts the pressure on, and no one likes feeling pressure. Something that scares a lot of men off is losing their freedom. So if you think that putting all of your energy, all of your efforts towards this guy is going to keep him around and make him have the idea like, oh, she's faithful, you're giving him actually the impression that you're relying on him for all of your emotional needs and you need his attention. And in the beginning, if this is the impression that you're giving off, it comes across as very needy. So here's how I went from 0 to 100. Not literally 100, but
yeah, sure. I'll bet. A little Freudian slip there, sounds like.
Whoever you're dealing with first, maybe it's one person or 3 people, then you're good. If it's one person, then we need to factor in 2 more people. I think
unbelievable.
The place to go is dating apps because it's very accessible.
Yeah, go to dating apps where all the other hoochie mamas are, hoochie mamas are, where they're just spreading their legs for just random men and going on an endless stream of first dates. Yeah, I mean, it's sad. Something tells me she was raised by a single mom.
You tend to like go out frequently out of your house, then add people in that way is probably better. If someone falls off, then they go to the graveyard, and then we factor in another person. I actually haven't used Hinge in a couple weeks now just because I have a solid 3. I haven't needed to. But if someone falls off, then we can go circle back around, add someone else in. I think that this is just a good way to get your mind off of focusing way too much on someone specifically, especially if you have an anxious attachment style. I will say that this is at the beginning stages of dating when you're like going on the first couple of dates. I do think that needs to be narrowed down, the amount of people that you're spending time with, maybe down to 2, and then once you have that exclusivity talk, then narrow it down to 1. And you're just talking about
this is what we call this is what we call being morally bankrupt. You know, you almost have to wonder, like, what do these people do for a living? How come they have so much time to date all of these different people, right? I mean, there's a lot of juggling going on. I mean, I remember when I had a pretty big dating rotation, I was just, like, looking for ways to cut it down. I mean, just because I'm like, I want time for myself, right? I like alone time. I don't want yeah, there were times I didn't even want to look at my phone because I didn't want to see text messages from these girls and have to respond, and it started to feel like a chore, it started to feel like a job, and I just started to have to cut it down, and now I'm just seeing this one chick, and I'm pretty happy, man, and it works with my schedule too, and if anything ever went wrong, of course I could build up my dating rotation again, but what she's doing here is... Yeah, on to the next.
If you're single, I 10 out of 10 recommend running a roster or simply dating around. And I know...
Okay, another one.
Oh, you're gonna be like, oh my god, I don't get it. I don't know how. I'm not a whore. And the thing is, it's like you don't have to be a whore to date around. I think it's important to...
You kind of do. Like, if you're keeping a roster, yeah, you're definitely a whore.
Date multiple people.
Let's call a spade, man.
Because you find out what exactly you're looking for. Dating is truly a skill, and it's not something that comes easy to a lot of people. And like many skills, you need to practice.
No, you should not be practicing if you're a female. Yeah, because that's not attractive to guys, especially high-value guys. High-value guys will never, ever wife up a female who has had a dating roster in the past, especially now they're making this known on social media. High value guy is never going to take you seriously. You're not even going to get like an average guy to take you seriously. You're just going to get guys who are going to use you for sex, much like the guys who are on your so-called roster now, right? None of those guys are putting a ring on your finger. None of those guys are committing to you. So you're just going to get more of this, and you think this is all fine and dandy when you're in your 30s, because these chicks are clearly still in their early 30s, right? A lot of these mainstream news outlets do the same thing. They always feature women who are in their early 30s, like, oh, look, roster of guys, feminism, oh my gosh, life is so good, I'm so glad I didn't get married when I was younger. But they never feature the women who are in their 40s or their 50s, because that's when you start to go deep into the sand, and you start to see how miserable these chicks really are. And this is going to happen to them. You're going to be like 10 years in, and these chicks are still going to be on their TikTok. They're going to be even worse, talking about their roster of dudes, and they're just headed for somewhere where you don't want to go if you're female.
Now, granted, it does depend on the space you are in your life, but in order to vet out a potential person, you can't fall in love with every man or woman that you meet on the internet. You can't expect this one person that you met by chance to be the person you're supposed to be with forever. I learned through dating around what important questions to ask. What are instant red flags on a date or after you get to know someone a little bit?
How about you have a roster of dudes? That's a red flag.
A little bit. What are qualities and traits like right off the bat? I'm like, heck no. And most importantly, what are overall characteristics that I'm looking for in my partner?
You gotta love how so many of these females who are already over the age of 30 that no longer have the same power they did just a few years ago, that are they're losing their SMV. That's like dropping like a rock, and they're sitting here acting like they have buying power. As the old saying goes, beggars. How's it go? Beggars can't be choosers. Beggars can't be choosers. This female here, I actually did a couple of videos on her in the past. She's a single mom. Okay, this is the same chick that goes to nightclubs, and she was complaining about how she doesn't think it's anybody's business to know that if she has a kid at home, right? That she's a single mom. It's like, if a guy's interested in you, that's something that you should probably tell him right away, so you don't waste his time and you don't waste your time. Because I always teach my students, the second you find out that she's got Chad Jr. at home, get out of there, right? I don't even want you to give this girl a time of day. But she feels that that's none of your business. But she's a single mom. Not only does she have Chad Jr. at home that she's looking for a replacement daddy for, but she's also keeping a roster of guys. Yeah, this is, when I say single females over 30 are damaged goods, how much more proof do you need?
So, go on multiple dates, please.
Yeah, sure.
He honestly doesn't care, because he wants a woman that isn't going to just go entertain other men simply because she feels rejected or less confident because of something maybe he said or did before even talking to him.
Yep. Yeah, this chick is based. So yeah, she's totally right. And I wish there were more females out there who would call out these chicks with their so-called roster. Right, there's just a darkness with these chicks and their rosters. I mean, you could tell just by like looking into their eyes. This chick here is speaking out against it. You can tell she just has a better energy to her, a more positive energy. And then you look at these other girls we feature tonight. There's just like a darkness about them in their eyes. This chick or the other chick, there's just a darkness about them. Bad energy, just bad energy. But as always, guys, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video, anything you'd like to add, anything you would like to share, anything I might have missed. Please drop them in the comments below. As always, this is M from the 33 Secrets signing out. Go ahead and smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and smash that notification bell for me as well. Do it for the YouTube algorithm. I would very much appreciate it. And for you guys who want to support my work and everything I'm teaching you here, just jump into 7 Months Mastery. Right now it's only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons from me. So take advantage of it, and I will teach you how to stay away from chicks like this with their ridiculous rosters, and how to go out there and find the cream of the crop, the young, beautiful women, the 8s, 9s, and 10s of the world that are not on these dating apps, that are not on like Hinge or Bumble or Tinder, but are out there in the world. I teach you where to find these girls, how to walk up to them and cold approach them. And I have just thousands of successful students now all around the world that will back me up on this, that what I teach you works. Take advantage of it. It's only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons from me. It's the best way to support my work if you love what I'm doing, and you're going to gain a ton of value out of it in the process. So take advantage of it and click the link below. It will take you over my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds, so do that now, and I'll see you in my next coaching video. I'm out.